So the philosophy we have in our district is very inclusive. Gosh, it would be probably 12 years ago. We changed our service delivery model and tried to really take a look at, we looked at our data. We looked at our data for our students with disabilities and it wasn't good. The outcomes weren't good, right? And I don't think we truly believe that every child, regardless of disability label or not disability label, deserves a quality teacher.
Yeah.
And that's where we started from, and really getting kids in front of a content area teacher who is qualified to teach that content. And that is not a slam to our special education staff. I'm a special education teacher by trade.
Right.
But I wasn't a middle school math teacher, and those kids who have disabilities really deserve to have that quality teacher in front of them. So that's been a huge game changer for us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Brighter Together podcast. My name is Janet Courtney, and I have the privilege of having two guests today. My first guest is Michelle Schmidt, and Michelle is the North Shore Middle School principal. And I also have Heather Whelan, and she's the K-2 principal, and they are both at Heartland Lakeside Joint 3 School District, which is located in Heartland, Michigan. Ladies, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so I'm going to start with Michelle. Michelle, tell us a little bit about you and your role and what's going on in your world.
Sure. I am currently the principal of North Shore Middle School. We have about 365 students, grades 6 through 8. I've been in this role for 17 years, and we have an awesome school. This year, we were awarded with a Blue Ribbon Award for closing achievement gaps and for high academic achievement. So we're very proud. We have an awesome staff. This is going to be my last year as a middle school principal, so I'm exiting out with my 8th graders, and I accepted a role as a superintendent in Bristol, Wisconsin.
Congratulations with that as well. But Heather, she's leaving you. She's leaving you, isn't she?
We're happy for her, sad for us, for sure.
Yeah. Nothing stays static. If it does, we're going backwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Heather, tell me about your role and what's happening in your school.
So I'm the principal at Heartland North Elementary, and we have 4K through 2nd graders. So we're really the foundation of the district. We are teaching those foundational reading, writing, math, social skills. We have a lot of really great things happening in our building as well. I mean, our kids come to us they're not reading, they don't know their letters, and by the time the year ends across the board, they're all, they know their sounds, they're reading, they're writing. You're seeing so much growth, which is what makes this age.
Yeah, that's exciting. And it's exciting to hear that it's going well, because I've heard a lot about from COVID leftovers and how hard it is with kids coming in with just not having the skills to even be in school. So that's fantastic. Yeah. So they go, Heather, from your school over to Michelle's once they get to 3rd grade. Is that right? Is that how? No, not one in between.
Yeah, we have a building in between.
Okay.
A 3rd through 5th grade building. With another principal that we work with. And just a fun fact, the three of us that are principals in each building have worked together for over 25 years.
Wow. Congratulations. Yeah, that's fantastic. So what kind of wins are you guys having right now? Because it sounds like if you're getting blue ribbons and you're doing things that are getting the kids reading and writing and doing all of that, you must be doing something right for sure.
Right now, our win is just making it through the last week of school.
Just so people know, it is when we're recording this, because it'll be 2 months and it'll be like, what are you talking about? So it is June 3rd right now. We are recording this on June 3rd. So yes, school has just ended. So I'm right there with you. I get it.
I think that we can attribute to our wins to several things. As far as literacy, we use the same curriculum and the same Readers Writers Workshop model all the way from Heather's grades all the way through 8th grade. And I think that repetition and that consistency helps our students. We also have instructional coaches who are amazing and really help us as building principals. We can't be in every classroom all the time, but I think they really do a nice job of working with our teachers, building up their confidence in their capacity, and collaborate with us really well. I think that's a game changer, but Heather, I'll refer to you on that a little bit.
Yeah, I think those are all make the district strong. And I think the fact that we have what's a lot of professional development in our district. So like my grade level teachers meet every week for literacy, math, and the coaches, our instructional coaches lead that professional development. So everybody's really on the same page. Everybody's planning the same thing. So when we have students come in, it doesn't matter which teacher you have, you're getting the same instruction.
Right.
And then because they lead it, it really is nice from one grade to the next. There's a nice flow in what we do, and that is across the district. So by the time they go from 4K in my building and they're in Michelle's building, it's similar. The curriculum's the same, the format's the same. They know how to do turn and talks. They know how to work with other kids. It's a nice routine for them.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen a lot of success with that.
And how did you guys get started with that?
We had a former curriculum director that sort of brought that model to our district, that idea of having instructional coaches,
Okay.
and we promoted from within.
Oh, nice.
We
Yeah.
have an awesome math instructional coach who is probably one of the best math teachers that I've ever worked with, who was at the middle school and became the K-4-8 instructional coach. And then we have two literacy coaches who are both extremely knowledgeable. And again, I think just their attention to detail and their understanding of their particular content areas is huge. They definitely understand the developmental needs of kids as they progress. And they work really well with our teachers, just in, like I said, building up their confidence, building their instructional repertoire. I believe it's the game changer for our district.
And it's all in real time. I think that's what's great about it. They're in the classrooms, they're answering questions as they come up, they're planning with teachers as it's needed. Kids don't always follow exactly.
No, really? Right?
They're going to. And so our coaches are there to just plan small groups and to make sure they're closing gaps and strengthening skills. And, so it's nice that we have them in the buildings.
Yeah.
They're so available.
And at all levels, but at our level, we meet vertically. They do at Heather's building too. So when I say vertically, our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade literacy teachers meet once a week. And then our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade math teachers meet once a week. And every week they bring student work samples. So it's samples of assessments. And they share those with one another and give one another feedback. What are you seeing with students? So why are these 10 kids not grasping this particular instructional standard? What feedback do we have for the teacher? Is it that the assessment is just written poorly? Do you have a different instructional strategy that you want to suggest? So I think that's very powerful. And then we try to, we give suggestions. We ask the teachers to try those and report back. But also as a principal, try to get in the room when they're teaching with the new strategy and give them feedback. How are they applying what they're giving them? So
a ton of collaboration. Yeah, doing it together. That's really great. And I'm sure for newer teachers, I bet they just soak that up.
Definitely.
Yeah. They're very appreciative. And our newer teachers have mentors for, veteran teachers who have been here who can help as well. But yeah, it's probably one of our strengths for newer teachers.
So what would you say is something, I know you guys talked a little bit about the process. How would you recommend this to maybe a district that's never done this before? Like how to promote what you guys are seeing, or how have you applied it to help your overall success, the overarching success?
I think in our district, at least two of our two of our three coaches, like I said, were promoted from within.
Okay. So
So,
promoting within, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
so people worked with them, at the teacher classroom level, and they both had a lot of respect as classroom teachers.
Mhm.
Um, and they're just people that I think it takes a lot of trust. I think it takes a lot of trust. Teachers have to trust people when they're in their classrooms. And as a
Mhm.
coach, they have to trust that the conversations they're having with their coach are going to be kept confidential because
Mhm.
it's a vulnerable relationship. But I think it starts with that.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Heather? What have you seen?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's similar. The trust, building relationships is first and foremost what they need to do, and um, just the consistency. That we're
And then,
meeting weekly, and yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
that's okay.
So, no. So, what about special education? Like when you talk about how does this apply? How do you apply what you're doing in like an IEP setting or in resource? How do you manage that, and how does that translate from what you're doing with the general population?
So the philosophy we have in our district is very inclusive.
Okay.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, it would be probably 12 years ago. We changed our service delivery model and tried to really take a look at. We looked at our data. We looked at our data for our students with disabilities, and it wasn't good. The outcomes weren't good, right? And I don't think we truly believe that every child, regardless of disability label or not disability label, deserves a quality teacher.
Yeah.
And that's where we started from. And really getting kids in front of a content area teacher who is qualified to teach that content. And that is not a slam to our special education staff. I'm a special education teacher by trade,
Right.
but I wasn't a middle school math teacher. And those kids the kids who have disabilities really deserve to have that quality teacher in front of them. So that's been a huge game changer for us. That doesn't mean that we don't have students who aren't pulled out or need some type of pull out instruction
Mm-hmm.
or a supplement with that, or sometimes it's actually different. But for the most part, our kids are all in a classroom together and
Inclusive
learning
model. Mm-hmm.
from that teacher.
Yeah.
Because I think that ownership is important.
Mm-hmm.
I think the
Yeah.
ownership from the classroom teacher is so important. They are all your children, regardless.
Yeah. 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 You don't get to pick and choose who you teach, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's great. Because and I understand there are some children that just need that one-on-one, and that's just the
Mhm.
way it is. But when you talk about inclusive models, it helps the children to feel accepted because kids that are on IEPs know that most of them know that they're different, right? That they're on an IEP. I'm a speech therapist, so on
Mhm.
30 years of doing this, it's one of those. So I love the inclusive model because it just, you talk about that picture of the kids on the fence. Let's remove the fence, right? Let's take the
Mhm.
fence out of the way. So,
Mhm.
so yeah. How about you, Heather? What are your thoughts about how that works at your level with the K4 to second grade?
Well, I mean, and at our level, obviously, it's where they're a lot of the time it's where they're identified.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they come in and you don't always know there's a struggle. We're working with parents, like, we have to collaborate with parents and have really good communication
Mm-hmm.
with them to help them understand what's happening and help them look at the data and help them um, sometimes accept what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's not always easy. So, but we have a fantastic team of people who they communicate really well. So this at our level, we're doing the interventions, we're putting things in place. They are identified, and if they qualify, obviously have an IEP, and we're
Right.
putting goals in place. And really, it's a lot of visuals because we're still working on language. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, our kids are 4, 5, 6, and 7, so
Yeah.
they're still working on a lot of language. So we're using a lot of visuals with them. We do our teachers do a lot of co-planning
Ah.
so our
Mm-hmm.
special ed teacher goes in and they work with the regular ed teacher, um,
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And they're
That's great.
supporting. I mean, and again, our kids are little, so our special ed staff is supporting most of the day if they've
Mhm.
identified
Yeah, it's a different
needs.
animal in elementary school than it is in middle school for sure. Yeah, and
Yeah.
how you address it and how you focus on it. So,
Yeah.
and that's
You're
good.
working on, and sometimes when things are hard, then you're also working on managing those emotions.
Yeah,
That's probably one of the biggest things we deal with.
the child on the floor kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop. I don't want to go to the next thing. I like this thing right here. Don't make me leave, right? Yeah. Yeah, transitions for kids are always so hard, you know. I don't care if they are special needs or not. Transitions are just, you know, how many of us have had a little one the first time we took them to daycare and they're just grabbing onto your leg. They don't want to go. They want the comfortable place.
Yeah.
Let's not do the hard thing, right? Yeah, for sure. That's fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So, if there was one thing that you guys would want to change, this is a question I ask most people. If you could miraculously solve one challenge in your school, think about your school and not money. You cannot say everybody needs more money. We all know that. But if there was one thing that you could miraculously solve in your school, a challenge, what would you want to solve? Michelle, I'll let you go first.
Oh, thanks, Jan.
Ah! Sorry. Heather, if you have an answer, you can punt over to her, but it's
Um,
it's a thought-provoking question for
it is
sure.
a thought-provoking question. I think I can't use money, huh?
No, no, because it's everybody knows that. So if
Right,
it's miraculous, we don't need the money, right? We're just gonna
right,
fix it. This is our thing, and
right,
this is the thing that matters to me the most. That we're gonna fix it, and you know, it can be a
right.
million different things, right?
I think, I think a challenge at a middle school level is just kids are trying to figure out who they are and where they fit
Mm,
in the world. And if I could change anything, it would be that they just be kinder to one another and to themselves. I think if I had a miraculous way to do that,
hmm.
that's what I would do. They're
Yeah.
great, but it's a tough age.
It is definitely, yeah. One minute they're thinking like an elementary school student, and then the next minute they want to be a high school student, and one minute they want their blankie, and the next minute I'm not ever gonna need that again. Yeah, it's a tough
Exactly.
age. It's definitely a tough age, but yeah, yeah. So good answer. It's a very good answer. How about you, Heather?
Oh, it's a hard one, but I think when our kiddos come in, they're coming in with a lot of
Mm,
baggage.
baggage. Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think if we could figure out, I mean, maybe it's resources that just to connect with, more resources and have the time to do that. And, we have, again, a really great team of people who come with a lot of different knowledge that they bring to the table, but just being able to sort through some of that and make sure everybody's kind of starting on a level playing field when they get.
Yeah. It's really hard to learn when you're hungry or you're scared or you're um, worried about something that's going on at home and not knowing, you know, getting past all of that is critical to be able to learn, right?
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
Yes.
One of the things that I used to pray for, see, I told you this would come up. I do this all the time. When COVID happened, is, you know, all of these kids and all of the schools shut down. School was their safe place. School was the place where they had someone that they could rely on. School was the place where they got fed. School was the place where, you know, they felt valued. And I'm not saying that every parent isn't a good parent because, but believe me, there's tons of great parents. But I know there are kids out there, and those were the kids that I prayed the hardest for, because you know we took that away from them during COVID, and not by anything that we did wrong or anything they did wrong. It was just the nature of what happened during COVID, and it was just so. You know, those were the kids you just lift them up. I lifted them up all the time because it was just such a hard, and kids got lost in the shuffle, and we just so that was something that was really on my heart during that time. So tough times, but you know, we're past it, thank goodness. So all right. Any last comments? I want to give you guys one more opportunity. If there's something else that we want to touch on, I'd be happy to touch on it. Make sure that we've touched on everything that's important to you guys today.
I think, to your point, as I realize that when this airs, it will not be summer, but you start to see behaviors ramping up towards the end of the year. And a lot of times it is because even though kids are excited about summer, we do have students who have a lot of uncertainty about
Hmm.
summer and what summer brings for them. They don't have that same structure. I think another huge credit to our teachers and to our staff at Heartland Lakeside is academics aside, everybody loves their kids. I
Yeah.
mean, right? That's why we're here.
Hmm.
And I think that is the foundation for everything. As you said before, if kids don't feel safe, if they don't feel valued, if we don't build strong relationships with them, nothing else will happen. And I think Heartland Lakeside prides itself on that. And I think all three buildings work hard. I think all the staff at all three buildings work hard at building relationships, not only with students, but with families.
Nice. And it shows because you guys are award winners. So congratulations on that as well. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, so if people want to know more about Heartland Lakeside, where should they go? How do they
We
find you guys?
Sure.
we have obviously a website under heartlake.org, and it's pretty user friendly, and you can kind of click on different things in there and learn about each of the buildings. I think all of the principals have a bio. We have, the staff is all listed in there, and then a lot of the things that we offer in our district. We have so many things that we offer, from summer school, which will be starting up as soon as the year is over, and then during the year, a lot of extracurricular things that we have after school. And I mean, you can add to it, Michelle, but I know that, you can find just about anything on that site.
Absolutely. Anything you want to know about our special education services or our service delivery model. I
Uh-huh.
know we're working on building our curriculum page out a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Awesome. Well, Heather, Michelle, it's been lovely to speak with you both. Thank you for coming on. It's just always a pleasure to see educators that really just are about their kids and about their staff, and that's very I can see that with both of you, that this is something that's a passion of yours, and I'm excited. And Michelle, we wish you all the best with your
Thank you.
new endeavor as well for
Thank
next year.
you.
That's exciting stuff. It is. It's exciting to start something new. I know it's going to be a big challenge probably, but
It is.
I have a feeling you're going to come through with flying colors. So congratulations about that too.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. So thanks for being here, and thanks for being on the Brighter Together podcast, because the whole reason that we do this is because we're brighter together.